What's up, Internet? Advantageous here, bringing you a passerby battle that I had up against this very OU looking team, and I'm actually using an RU team in this one. I didn't get too many battles off with this one, so unfortunately this is the only one from this team, but these mods put in the work, so let's get into the battle. Obviously getting the lead, Uxie was my rocker, so normally I like to lead with my rockers. In comes the Charizard X, as I find out here, right off the bat. And instead of going for the Stealth Rocks, I actually realized I want to cripple this thing as soon as possible. I don't want it to sit here, set up on me, and just sweep me. Because obviously, this is an OU team. So I go for the T-Wave turn 1 as he tries. This is why you don't set up turn 1. It's just, yeah, that's just 101. So he ends up switching out here, which is great for me, because I'm able to get up free Stealth Rocks. And who doesn't like free Stealth Rocks? So he brings in his Garchomp, and I'm guessing this is going to be his rocker, as it is confirmed when he goes for his own. And I knew the rocks were coming, but I didn't really want to switch into anything. Luckily for me, this team isn't too weak to rocks, so I'm not too worried. That's why I don't have any spinners or defoggers on this team. It's really hard for defog too, because so many of them are tutor moves from Gen 3 or 4, and they just don't take it. It's just hard for them to learn it now without genning. So now I'm up against the Scissor, and he's just continuing to let me do whatever I want to him as I T-Wave him. So now he's got 2 Mons paralyzed, 2 very big offensive threats. As I take that U-turn really nicely. Uxie is really tanky. It's got some really good stats to it. So he U-turns out, brings back in this Garchomp, and I'm perfectly content to just let this thing go down. It's done its job, it's T-Waved 2 of its big offensive threats, and I'm just going to get some damage off from this Garchomp, bring something in to revenge kill it, as it will take me out with the D-Claw. So Uxie, putting in the work, getting those Stealth Rocks up. So in comes Rotom, and here I over-predicted and I went for the Volt Switch because I was thinking why would you stay in? Because I am Choice Scarfed. Didn't you think I had HP Ice or something? So Force Switch. So I switch out into Steelix to take the incoming Dragon Claw because there's no way he's going for Earthquake. So I take that like a champ. I'm max HP, max defense, Steelix. As he's going to switch out his Garchomp into Charizard, as I reveal Mega Steelix. I love Mega Steelix. The problem that it has is it's got very poor special defense. So after a while, I did try to put more special defense investment in, just so it could take more hits. As Charizard comes into a Dragon Tail, which is great, but unfortunately it brings Garchomp back out, and that's not what I want to see. So I'm predicting an Earthquake here, as I switch back into Rotom. That's what I should call mine. Rotums. Tum. So now this time I'm not making any big predictions. I'm just going for the big Leaf Storm as he switches into Scizor. So I'm getting these predictions wrong. This is what I thought he was going into last time, because I thought he was going to think I had HP Ice or something. So getting with the Leaf Storm, I get a crit, which is actually pretty nice. Unfortunately here, I was predicting the U-turn as he actually pursuits me. So, and then gets paralyzed. So I'm like, oh boy, I would have been dead for sure. So I switch into Steelix, because I'm pretty sure this thing cannot touch me, which is always nice. As he's just going to bring back in Garchomp. So this Garchomp's being a problem, but luckily he does switch into a Dragon Tail, which is very nice. I'm going to take some rough skin damage, but that's okay. And I find out that he does not have Rocky Helmet, which is even better. So in comes Gengar. And here, this is the problem about it being an RU team. I had nothing to switch into this. So Steelix just had to sit there and take the Shadow Ball, Gets the defense drop, special defense drop, which is unfortunate. See, it's a Life Orb Gengar. Luckily though, I am going to get a nice Gyro Ball off. And yeah, Gengar is not going to let that. Even full health. Yeah, you're done. You're done, son. And then Garchomp comes out again. And this time, I'm actually, like, predicting him to go for the D-Claw, predicting me to switch out. And he goes for the Dragon Claw. I live it. I get a Dragon Tail off. And I'm just like, yes! Thank you, game! Unfortunately, though, because of rough skin, the Dragon Tail doesn't, like, take in. But that was my strongest damaging move. So in comes Houndoom. And yeah, I thought I outsped, and I don't. I live with 1 health, but I get the Dark Pulse off. I do believe this was my Power Herb Solar Beam set. So in comes the Scizor. I know a Bullet Punch is coming. I can't do anything about it. This is why Scizor is OU. It's just really good at revenge killing. It could have Pursuit Trapped me there. It could have just stayed there and Bullet Punch. So now I bring in Jellicent, hoping he doesn't have anything to hit me with, and then he goes for Bullet Punch again. That's a considerable amount. So now I'm guessing Banded, because it's the first damage he's like I've really been able to see, because that did a lot for a resisted hit. And I get the Scald off and finish off Scizor. So now pretty much 3 of his like main threats are out of the way already. As he brings in Felinara, the Sylveon. And I'm not too concerned about this. I am specially defensive, as I am going to Will-O-Wisp the Sylveon. Kind of wish I had Toxic here, but the point is to make this Jellicent very bulky on both sides, using, especially making him Calm Nature, max special defense with Will-O-Wisp. So I don't believe I have any special attack investment in this. It's just pure bulk. It is meant to soak up them hits, and soak them up they do. So I know I'm gonna go asleep this turn, but as long as this isn't a Calm Mind Sylveon, which since it revealed Yawn, I'm not too concerned about. I just stay in and I just recover, and then you see how little that does to me. So with leftovers, that's going to be like an 8-hit KO. Okay, little exaggeration, I'm sorry. But the Sylveon, yeah, unless it's a Calm Mind variant, will not be able to do anything to me. So I'm sitting here, I'm asleep. But yeah, the Sylveon's there, so I'm just going to stay in. There's no point in me switching out. And just burn or turn to sleep. So I get my lefties back. The Sylveon's, like it's got the lefties, but luckily I've got the burn on it, so at least I'm doing something to it. So I'm not just sitting here asleep for no reason. As he's actually going to finally get out of there, realizing that I'm going to wake up eventually, and he's not gonna. And in comes the Cloyster, and I wake up and I recover. So now I'm a little worried. I'm like, if this thing sets up on me, like I'm water absorbed, so he can't hit me with anything. So he predicts the Will-O-Wisp here. Yeah, I don't know what he was trying to do here. It's like, okay, I outplayed you. You didn't get your Will-O-Wisp. I'm like, what can you do to me? You can't do anything to me. So I'm finally gonna get out of here because I've had enough of this little exchange. As Sylveon's gonna go for the wish. And I'm like, okay. Well, I don't think you have Protect. I'm very much guessing that you don't. And on this turn, I need to cripple this thing because I know that it's gonna be very hard to take out, as he does end up going for the Protect. So I didn't think he had it, as I go for the Trick. And that makes this Rotom very useful for taking away these walls, because I know that's all he's got left are more defensive Pokemon that are relying on setup or sustain. So now I've revealed the Trick, so now he knows it's coming, and he decides to stay in and let the Sylveon take it. And I'm not sure how I feel about that play. I don't think that was the right play. Mainly, it wasn't just to cripple it, it was to get rid of its leftovers. Because I know now that I can wall it out with Jellicent. It's not going to be able to sit there, so I bring it back in, and I say, alright, I'm back. What do you got for me? Can you do anything to me? I don't think so. So, he switches into Charizard, the paralyzed Charizard. It takes a lot of Stealth Rock damage. I get a Shadow Ball off. I did that just in case the Cloyster came in. I mean, Scald, Shadow Ball, it doesn't matter. They're both pretty good moves. I think Shadow Ball is like a little bit more damage. So now he comes in and he brings in the Sylveon. And now I'm thinking, okay, what are you doing? Are you trying to bait me to do something? And he goes for this Choice Scarf Protect. So I'm like, okay. So I go for the Shadow Ball here, predicting him. And this was a critical turn. I had to think, what am I doing? It's like, you're switching into Cloyster. I know you are. And so, because like, there's no point in you double protecting. You're switching out. You're going into Cloyster. And he switches into Cloyster. So I predict that, and I go for the Will-O-Wisp. And you're done. And at this point, yeah, this was game over. Sorry to spoil the end of the battle, but yeah, there was nothing he could do to this Jellicent. The Sylveon had no sustain. The Cloyster actually goes for Icicle Spear on me. Look at how little that does. Oh, wait! That was a crit! A crit did 10 damage! Look at how little that does. It feels so good when you just completely wall out your opponent. So I'm going to finish off the Cloyster with Shadow Ball because it actually has pretty bad special defense. And Jellicent's just sitting here looking pretty, being a big blob. And yes, his name is King Blooper because he's a blooper. So Stealth Rocks have been just instrumental in this match. So Sylveon, I do believe, is all he has left. Unfortunately, Sylveon is a special defense monster, so I'm not doing much damage, but that's the key to the burn. In this match, like, I want to say Toxic would have been better for it, but then I wouldn't have had the Will-O-Wisp or the Cloyster to completely shut it down. So I'm not even bothering to recover here anymore, and there's no point stalling it out. I'm just going to finish it off. And that's going to be the end of the match. So I was trying to think what else went down. Oh yeah, the Gengar. I forgot what the last Pokemon was. But yeah, I took the Gengar out with Steelix. So yeah, that was a little RU versus OU match. Yeah, I didn't even get to bring out my, what do you call that thing? Girder. Yeah, he didn't even get to hit the field. But there wasn't much he could do anyways. Like, the Sylveon would have just destroyed him with the Hyper Voice. He might have been able to live one. But the only thing I could have hit back with is like an Ice Punch. And that wouldn't have done that much. I wouldn't want to go for knockoff just because I want it to stay scarfed. So yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed this nice battle that I had. I try to have more nice passerby battles, but oh man, it's really hard. It's not that I want like all these followers to appreciate me. I just want people to like follow me on Twitter so that way I can like request battles. Because I'm having like, I got a solid UU team and I keep going up against OU and Ubers. And it's just, it's meant to take on, you know, the UU threats. You know, it can handle UU, but it can't handle these Ubers. They just hit too hard. Like Mega Steelix, Aegislash, they just can't handle that much power, and that's why they're in UU, even though they're pretty strong. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this battle, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye!